Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. FPL Consult here, and in today's video I'm going to share with you guys my Gameweek 10 wildcard draft for those of you who are activating the chip this week. If you guys enjoyed this video, please do drop a like, please do subscribe as well, and let's start off with the goalkeepers as well as the defenders. So in goal, I will still have Nick Pope. Now I know you could obviously opt to go for Raya instead of Timber as the second defensive Arsenal asset, but that will also cost you a little bit more. I've chosen to take the cost saving here because I've spent the money elsewhere, as you'll see later on. I still think the Newcastle defense is pretty good, especially against West Ham. I think they can keep a clean sheet. Fixtures moving forward are also reasonably good. As for the keeper on the bench, I've still opted to go for 4.0 million to Bravka there. As for the defenders in the starting 11, I have double Arsenal defense. That is pretty much a non-negotiable. I think some of you guys are even considering going triple Arsenal defense. I don't mind that at all. They are such a strong defense this season that, I honestly think clean sheets are pretty much the default for them. And the attacking threat of players like Timber and Gabriel, I cannot look past them. So Munoz here, in between both Timber and Gabriel. He is here mainly because Crystal Palace moving forward have great fixtures. They are also a team that are putting decent enough defensive data. They're not exceptionally good in terms of expected goal conceded. They are somewhere in the middle, around the 9th or 10th in the league. But what I think Munoz offers is great attacking threat. I think among kind of all the defenders in the game right now, he is up there in terms of expected goal involvement, and you just know how advanced he plays overall. And also, given that Crystal Palace are in pretty good form, I would try to capitalize on that. It is quite an expensive defense here in Timber, Munoz and Gabriel. All of them are kind of above 5.5 million. So again, then the cost saving has to come from somewhere, as you'll see later on in the midfield. As for the other two defenders on the bench, I have Senesi here, and he is obviously playing Man City this week, but from game week 11 or 12 onwards, you can start to play him in your starting 11 every other week. I do imagine that for this draft, as you'll see later on, you can even opt to play a 4-3-3 in some weeks, playing all of Timber, Munoz, Gabriel and Senesi once Senesi's fixtures also turn. So he's here in preparation and also kind of a bit of future planning. And then for Rodon here, I've chosen him as the bench fodder. You can obviously go for someone like Alderete or Mukele from Sunderland. Those are fine as well. It's honestly up to you. So these are the goalkeepers as well as the defenders. Let's have a look now at the midfielders. In midfield, I've opted to go for a 4-man midfield of Mbeumo, Eze, Semenyo, as well as Enzo Fernandez. And the 5th midfielder on the bench is pretty much a bench fodder 4.5 million king. And I'll start off with him. It's not as if he hasn't been benched before this season. He's already seen one benching so far. But I do think that with this draft again, with your kind of expensive defenders here that I've chosen to go for, and also you'll see up front, I do have some expensive players there. I have obviously to kind of account for the budget overall, and the cost saving here has come from going for King. If you do have extra money, then I would obviously upgrade King to a 5 million Xhaka, for example. So those are options you could go for. But in terms of the starting 4 midfielders, it's Mbeumo, Eze, Semenyo and Enzo Fernandez. I'll start off with the easy ones. Semenyo is pretty much definitely going to still be in here. He's too good this season to kind of go without, even when he plays Man City now. Enzo Fernandez here, despite Chelsea not playing too well against Sunderland, is still a player I would have. In the absence of Cole Palmer, he will still be on penalties. Granted, now that Liam Delap is back, so maybe Delap will be playing in the number 9 role, and the number 10 spot would no longer go to Enzo Fernandez. It could be João Pedro, and that would mean that Enzo Fernandez drops a little bit deeper, but I still think that in terms of attacking output, it would not hinder Enzo too much. He was already playing slightly deeper in the earlier parts of the season, and he still was able to get attacking returns. So overall, with Chelsea's fixtures being quite good, I still rate Enzo Fernandez as a pick. Until Cole Palmer comes back, we can start to reassess as well. In terms of the last two midfielders here, Mbeumo and Eze, I'll speak about Eze first. Obviously, in this spot, you could choose to go for Saka. If you have more money as well and you choose to, kind of downgrade elsewhere, you could upgrade Eze to Saka. But I do think that with Martin Odegaard out, and he's not going to be back anytime soon, I think Eze offers quite a lot, and he also plays centrally. I know he's not on penalties and he doesn't have that kind of extra route to point such as what Saka has, but I just do like that he takes up the central positions and he does accumulate quite a good number of expected goal involvement in every other game, and he's also picked up quite a number of tackling returns this season already. So I don't mind going for Eze instead of Saka, as well as Mbumo here, who plays Nottingham Forest away. What I like about Mbumo is from open play, Mbumo has really good threat, much better than Bruno Fernandes. He is the one with the best non-pen XG in the Manchester United team. And overall, I think Manchester United are turning a corner. So there is a bit of opportunity here to go for Mbumo. The fixtures moving forward are pretty good as well. The only thing that you'll have to think about when it comes to Mbumo is that he will be gone for the African Cup of Nations once Game Week 16 comes around, in which case that's probably a transfer you'll have to make by the time that comes, but you will have 5 free transfers after Game Week 15, and that can be used to navigate this Mbumo pick. So there we go with the midfielders, Mbumo, Eze, Semenyo, Enzo, as well as King on the bench. Let me know your thoughts, and let's wrap it up with the forwards. So up front, I've chosen to go for Voltemade, Haaland, as well as Mateta. Haaland, I don't have to speak much about. So Mateta, he is someone that I think you definitely need to include in your Game Week 10 wildcard. Firstly, Crystal Palace's fixtures moving forward are pretty good. They are actually top the fixture ticker over the next 5 to 6 game weeks. Not only that, almost half of their XG goes to Mateta. And if he actually converted more of his XG this season, he would have been sitting on maybe 7 to 8 goals by now. So Mateta on penalties, good for starts as well. Maybe moving forward when the fixtures start to get a little bit more bunched up, where there's midweek fixtures, for example, around the Game Week 14 period. Maybe he could come off slightly earlier for someone like Nketiah, but at least for the time being, that's not going to put me off, going for Mateta. And especially for those of you who aren't on a wild card, I think he's a good transfer in this week as well. Now, as for Voltemade here, I would say that this is a slightly different pick as compared to other wildcard drafts, but the main reason why I've still chosen to include him is because at his price point, at about 7.5 million, I still prefer him over going for a 7.5 million midfielder, for example. Now, if I do, drop him down to a Krupi Jr., you could obviously opt to go for someone like Ismail Assar or Minte, those kind of midfield options. But do I prefer Voltemade to them? I would say yes. Firstly, the Newcastle fixtures, as I said at the start, are still pretty good overall. The attack in terms of Newcastle is still pretty much centered around Voltemade. Even though he blanked against Fulham, he actually got quite a huge chance in that game and hit the post. He could have gotten a goal there, and that would have been a very different conversation because he would then have gotten 5 returns in 6 games. And I think the conversation around Voltemade would be pretty much thinking whether he is a must buy. So overall, I'd say Voltemade is a pick that I still rate. West Ham away is a great fixture right now with how West Ham are playing. So right from the get-go, you're going to get good attacking returns. Overall as well, when Gordon is not on the pitch, which does happen quite often because Gordon is someone that is getting subbed off at around the 70th minute. So when that happens, then Voltemade is on penalties. So overall, I still rate Voltemade as a pick. I think this is a differential that you can go for here. I don't think many people would be picking him on the Game Week 10 wildcard. So there we go with the Game Week 10 wildcard draft that I would go with if I was activating the chip. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Which players would you change up? Would you have Saka in the midfield? Would you also drop Voltemade down and maybe go for Minte, etc.? Let me know those variations. And would you also have such an expensive defense like here? If not, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll catch you in more Game Week 10 content coming very, very soon. Bye-bye.